You are now listening to the Q&E Podcast.
Is this what you want? Huh? Is this what you want? Well, come and get it, goddammit!
What's up, everybody? You're listening to the Q&E Podcast. You here with your boy Q Hicks right now. I got Edgar on the other line. Edgar, tell the people what's good.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Q&E Podcast. Today, we are reviewing Snowfall, Season 4, Episode 6. This episode was titled Say a Little Prayer. And that line, boy, I was so pissed, dog. R.I.P. Fatback, man. My dog ain't deserve to go like that. He really didn't, man.
Hey, it's so funny, bro, because I gave so much respect for that nigga when he took the rap for what he took the rap for, and then I lost all of that respect when he fucking went with that female and got killed and shit like that. Lost all respect for that nigga. So yeah, definitely R.I.P. Fatback. He was a good nigga when he was standing. He was a good soldier. But that nigga, that nigga funny as hell.
Oh my god. I built everything up to this point, telling everybody, look, Fatback is such an important character. Like, y'all don't realize, like, he's Leon's, like how Leon is to Franklin. That's what Fatback is to Leon. And people didn't appreciate his character, man. And now all
nobody appreciates the assistant to the assistant manager, my nigga. Nobody appreciates that. That was like the way true.
But when you provide so much comedic relief and like you just, I don't know, Fatback had that vibe. Like, hey, bro, like this a funny ass character. He's like Peaches. I hold value to Peaches' character a little bit too. I'm like, hey, Peaches.
All right, my nigga. You talking about D-Ray Davis?
Nah, see,
I don't give a fuck about D-Ray Davis, my nigga.
See, you one of them people that only care about the main characters, and then everybody else you don't give a fuck. Like
D-Ray Davis, does he even speak in the show? He don't even speak.
But Peaches is such a he's a character everybody should know. He's a character. Like, come on now, like even though there ain't no real context to his character, like you one of them people you only care about the main characters. Everybody else, fuck it.
The main characters and Mel, yeah, Mel, yeah.
I like.
And once again, we didn't see Mel. We did see Mel once again. She gonna show up next episode though. I promise y'all that. And whoever, and I want to say this too. Oh, once again, before we dive into anything, I want to say shout out to everybody on YouTube that's been showing love and commenting, subscribing recently. We've been seeing it. We've been noticing it. Definitely want to say press that subscribe button, press that like button, and we definitely appreciate y'all. But Mel would definitely be back. And to whoever put out that leaked photo of Aunt Louie in a deathbed, bro, y'all fucked me up for this episode. I thought Aunt Louie was finna get shot this episode, and y'all really fucked me up when she didn't get shot. So whoever leaked that photo fucked me up.
They put her in like a trailer too. I think it went by
real
a trailer?
Fast. Oh, it was a trailer.
Yeah, like I think it was for I don't remember if it was for the whole season or if it was like a future episode or something like that. But they showed Jerome looking over like a deathbed or a hospital bed or something, and Louis in the bed, and it's only like 1 second at the whole clip. So it's somebody
must have leaked screenshotted
that.
Oh,
somebody screenshotted that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I only seen the photo. I didn't even peep that in the trailer. Because I watched the trailer, I didn't even peep that. So I just seen the photo, and I'm like, damn, I thought that was gonna happen this episode, but it didn't happen. I was like, damn, I was kind of confused. I thought she was gonna get shot in Little Rock, but it didn't happen. So I'm still happy right now. But I guess it's gonna come eventually.
I think that was in a trailer right before the season had started. So yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about. But we get to the first scene of the show. Actually, let me say the biggest plot points of what I pulled from this episode. The biggest plot points that I pulled from episode 6 are Teddy is on the breaking point. Like, all shit is just going upside down for Teddy right now. Khadijah is taking revenge into her own hands. And Irene finally finds her weak link. Those are the three main things that I pulled from episode 6. But we start to show off. We get to the first scene of the episode. Teddy's father calls him and tells him that Matt is dead. R.I.P. to Matt. And his father is really blaming him. Like, you hear him in the conversation saying, I wish it would have been you. Like, he died like 2 weeks ago. I didn't even feel the need to tell you immediately. Like, I was so pissed at Teddy's father for that. I don't give a fuck how bad your relationship is. You don't do that, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Especially, like, bro, that's his only brother. And you know he still feels bad of the situation and how it went down with Matt and that cocaine situation. You know he still feels guilty for that. So to just build on it, saying, like, it should have been you and shit like that, you can understand why Teddy is going through this spiral. And then you add on the fact of everything that he's trying to do, trying to push the cocaine. It's like, yeah, like we was already saying throughout this whole season, like Teddy was looking weaker, he was looking sicker, and now you add this on it, like that's like mentally fucking with him now. So definitely, yeah, I never fucked with his dad when we first seen his pops. I didn't fuck with like their relationship, and it just added to his case right now.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, you don't do that, bro. Like, Matt is the only person that Teddy has had a good relationship with in his family. Never had a good relationship with his dad. Before his mom passed, they didn't really end on a great note. So it's really just been him and Matt this whole time. And like you just said, he already feels guilty about what he put him through, and that's why he took him back home in the first place. But the lingering effects of the overdosage of cocaine just took the effects, and that's what had to happen. I was so sad, bro. Like, I'm like, damn, y'all killed Matt in the beginning of the episode. I'm thinking Matt's gonna make an appearance again or something like that. I was pissed about that. But then we get to the
I don't
next
think Matt could have been. I don't think Matt could have really been like relevant, like anything else. So I'm cool. They closed that loophole or that plot point, so he wouldn't be put back in conversation anymore.
Because even though I didn't agree with the points you made last week, it was a good point that what if Matt was the weak link that Irene tried to find or something like that, you know? So even though I didn't agree with it, like if they brought him back for something like that and then like killed him off, I'd have been like, okay, at least we've seen him again, you know? But just to start that episode off like that, I was pissed.
Yeah, man.
R.I.P. to Matt. But we get to the second scene of the episode. Wanda is finally clean. My girl done got off that crack, and she's back. Teeth still on yuck mouth, but she back though.
Hey, that's gonna happen, man. As long as you clean, that's all that matter. Yeah. But I love to see that, and I love that they showed like the process of it. Like they just didn't show it was like it was some overnight process. They showed like the days and the withdrawal process that she had to go through to get to the point that she was at now. Like you seen her, like she was having cold sweats, and then she was huddled up in the corner, and she didn't want to watch TV. She was just restless and all that shit. So they showed the processes, the process of trying to withdraw from crack or whatever. So I like the way they showed that.
Yeah, because it's definitely a whole detox process. And
that's why I'm glad that like, they didn't show it was like some overnight shit. Like we just get to the scene and Wanda's walking out of the hospital. I would have been mad with that because I'm like, how long has it been? Like y'all just can't. It's not an overnight process. Like this shit is tough, my nigga, and it's easy to go down that road again. So I'm glad they just didn't do it like some overnight shit. You showed the process of it. I'm glad they did that. And
that's what any addiction. That's what alcohol.
Oh crack, yeah, for sure.
Heroin, any strong addiction like that, to where it's just physically and mentally detrimental to your body, it's not going to be easy to get off of. And like you said, it's so easy to slip back. And she said that later in the episode too, when we get to the phone call that she had. But next scene, Peaches and Franklin stop by the club to grab some of their money and products so they can get another shipment out. And Detective Stern and some policemen pull up on Franklin and Peaches and harass them, questioning them about where is Leon and what information they know. I was so pissed because I'm like, I really wasn't expecting to see Stern again. After he gave Irene that little bit of information, you thought he was coming back. I didn't think he was going to come back again because he sounded like he was scared. But man, Stern back in action. He ready to do this shit.
I mean, he a detective, so he gonna be around. Like I knew he wasn't just gonna like flee the scene like Marino did. Marino just like disappeared or whatever. Like I knew Stern was still gonna be around, but I don't know if he was gonna directly speak to Irene anymore. I don't think he wanted to speak to her because he knew the rabbit hole she was going to go down. But he's still a detective in LA, so he still did his detective work. But yeah, this scene was crazy. But I like the way they had this shit set up in the back. I didn't know that's how they had this shit set up. Like the cocaine and the speakers and shit like that. That was real fire the way they set that shit up. So yeah, I fuck with it.
Definitely. He was wrong though. He kicked my dog Kane. He didn't have to do all that, bro.
Kick my nigga Kane, push that nigga on the car. Damn, I was about to say something about Peaches. It was something about Peaches in this scene. I wanted to say it, but damn. Does D-Ray Davis? I don't know. Like I feel like he's always been known as the comedic guy, but he's more just like a background character in this show. Would you like to see his role get expanded?
I feel like it will, with them expanding to Little Rock and trying to expand to other places too. plus the fact that Franklin needs a 24/7 bodyguard again since the other dude had quit on him. I feel like Peach's role has to get expanded at this point, and we got to hear him talk more. We got to see him more. So I would definitely love to see DeRay Davis like act in a more serious tone because of the fact we only see him in comedic settings.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you have somebody like DeRay Davis, but y'all really not use him like that. He really just be in the background, really doesn't say too much. So I'm like, I wonder if that's going to change down the line. Hopefully it does.
True. I agree. I want to see some expansion. I want to see some range. What happened next? All right. One of the funniest parts of the whole damn episode to me, Scully is trying to repent. Scully putting crosses all on the wall. Scully praying to God. Scully ain't worried about nobody else right now. He's just trying to fully repent, and he feels God is getting back at him for how he did one of Manboy's men, how he hung him up on the cross and basically made a mockery of Jesus. So Scully is frightened right now, and Khadijah is pissed at Manboy and Scully since they both taking their time, quote unquote, trying to get to Leon.
Yeah.
So that was funny as hell to me. I'm like, Scully got to be high.
Yeah. And I feel Khadijah on that, because I feel like if it was with anything else, them niggas would have been riding out for anybody else. But they taking their time. Like, obviously, I understand what Scully is going through because his daughter just died. Like, he has to have some type of grieving period. But with Manboy, if this was anybody else, you'd be riding out on them niggas right now, no hesitation. But you taking your time with this for what? Like, Franklin really ain't got no bodyguards that's really protecting Leon like that. So just run up on Franklin ass or run up on his people. Like, why are you taking your time with somebody like Franklin? It ain't like Franklin got an army. Run up on them niggas. You got a whole army behind you, Manboy. Run up and get some information. But you taking your time, like, that shit don't make sense. So I agree with what Khadijah was saying in that scene. Like, if this was about anything else, you would have been riding out. But when it's about my daughter, you taking your time. Like, that shit ain't adding up, my nigga. And that shit makes complete sense. Mm-hmm.
But I think what Manboy is doing, and I think we've all have noticed this by now, Manboy is like really trying to get the plug from Franklin. And I think that's why he's really taking his time on this shit, because I feel like if he goes out and kills Leon, it's going to disrupt what he's trying to do as far as getting the plug from Franklin, because that might scare Franklin if they actually get Leon, and then Franklin might leave out LA for a little minute, and he might go to where he's trying to expand to and have like his workers stay in LA type shit. I feel like something like that would happen if Manboy moves too fast. So I feel this is why I love Manboy. That's why I told y'all Manboy is strategic. If this was Scully, if Scully wasn't grieving right now, Scully would be full steam ahead, just trying to kill whoever he can until he get Leon. But Manboy like, nah, I'm gonna play this shit out. Y'all think I'm chilling, but I got something bigger in mind that's gonna affect Franklin in a much bigger way.
And it was, I feel like it was kind of foreshadowing to what we get to when in that Franklin and Teddy scene. When we see them talking, and one thing Teddy says is everybody is replaceable. So if Franklin isn't getting everything done on his side, and if Manboy can bring in more money, even though he does like Franklin, he is going to have to go to the source that is bringing in money and who has the territories at the moment, and that is Manboy. He has what does he have? Inglewood or Compton? He has one of those territories.
Yeah,
and he
Manboy got Compton and Scully got Inglewood.
Yeah, so and we seeing that Scully and Manboy are like on a communicating level, so they can probably split that territory up, split the plug down, but still create revenue for Teddy. So if Franklin isn't getting the job done, if Manboy steps to Teddy like, hey, Franklin ain't getting it done, but I can. I'm the one that's holding it up, but I can keep this thing going. Teddy's gonna have to make that business decision and cut Franklin out right now. Even though he likes Franklin, he's gonna have to make his business decision.
True. I agree. I would love that. I know a lot of people hate Manboy, but I love Manboy character.
I would hate to see that, but I foresee that though. I foresee that though, especially how Franklin moving right now. You know what I'm saying? I can foresee Manboy slipping in there. Yep.
True. And next scene, Franklin tries to convince Leon that Fatback has to take the rap for the shooting if they want the police to calm down. And Leon is reluctant, but he actually agrees to it. I didn't think he was going to agree to it. I thought we was going to have to see a whole nother scene where they still arguing about it. But I guess in one scene, he was able to convince them to do the shit.
I mean, he really had no say so. Like, it's like either you go to jail or Fatback to go to jail, because the heat is going to stay on us. So it's like you really can't go back and forth with me, my nigga, because it's either your head or Fatback's, and that's
but Leon
how Leon had to think of it.
Leon didn't really care. Like Leon was like, bro, this my shit.
Yeah.
I did this shit. He ain't pulled the trigger. I did. But Franklin, like, no, bro. Like, and Franklin pointed out a very big fact that I think we all need to just go ahead and say, even though I'm sure we all know it. I put this entirely on Khadijah, and I feel like Khadijah is going to have an accountability moment. She's going to have an epiphany. I feel like it's Khadijah's fault that her daughter died. Because why are you having your daughter in the car with you when you got 4 or 5 other niggas in the car and they all strapped? Like, no, like, why do you have your daughter in that situation? Granted, like, yes, she still got shot by somebody else, but if you go back and look at that scene from that episode, they pulled their straps first on Leon and them, and Leon just retaliated. So I don't blame Leon. Honestly, I ain't really mad at him. Yeah, your daughter died in the process, but I feel like Khadijah definitely got to have a come into realization moment, and I don't like the fact that Leon just still carrying this guilt with him.
No, he has to carry it, my nigga, because it is his fault, though. It's his fault. You can blame you. It's multiple people that you can blame in this situation. But it was he did some extra shit, I feel like. Because you remember both of them was shooting back and forth. Like a couple people died on both sides. But Leon got out of the car and started doing that extra shit, shooting up the car extra. And that's when old girl ended up dying. So I think that's what Khadijah really looks at. Like, no, this nigga, he wasn't really just shooting at my men. This nigga really was trying to go at me too. And also in that scene, they were trying to go to his grandma's house. I'm like, so maybe that's probably what she was trying to go. Like, so that's an excuse right there. Like, they weren't just riding around with some gang members. They were trying to go to his grandmother's house to see his grandma. So I can't really blame her. And they were just like their chauffeurs for that day. So I don't think she'll have an accountability moment. Like, she's still going red with anger.
I don't know, bro. I still feel like you ain't need like 3-4 niggas in the car with you just to chauffeur you to your. And it ain't like Scully was in the car.
Yeah. They didn't need that, but like that's what it. Yeah. I
don't know. I feel like that was way too much shit.
Oh yeah. See, that's why I said it's multiple people to blame. Like, you can blame Khadijah because she shouldn't have been in the car with that. But you can understand why she just wanted to get to the grandmother's house, and probably they would have broke off and did some other shit. The 4 niggas would have did some other shit. Like I said, there's multiple people to blame. Like I said, Leon doing that extra shit though by getting out the car with the Uzi and started spraying the whole vehicle. No, Khadijah remember that shit. That's why she want Leon head. That's why she want Leon head. So yeah.
And then we get to the next scene where Louie and Jerome finally make it to Little Rock, and they meet up with her cousin Candy and her husband Johnny. This shit was hilarious too. They really some country ass people in the middle of nowhere, dog. That shit had me crying. I thought they was low key gonna be a little bossed up, you know what I'm saying? Real backwoods country type shit. Yeah. Having parties in the yard and shit.
I was like, where did all these people come from? Like, where are y'all niggas' houses? Like, them niggas literally in the middle of nowhere. I don't know where them niggas came from when
in the damn mountains, living in the mountains.
Literally. Yeah. I was like, I don't know where y'all niggas came from, but all right. That shit cool. But yeah.
Next scene, Franklin and Leon go to Fatback and let them know that, hey, you got to take the rap. And they give them an offer like, look, we'll have 250 G's waiting for you when you get out. And until you get out, we'll pay $5,000 to your family every month. And Leon told him, look, I got people on the inside. If people try you, like, I got people that can protect you. I would have told the ass, no. I need at least $1 million.
I said the same thing.
I need at least $1 million. Y'all got me fucked up. I
didn't care about the money. I didn't care about the money. What really fucked me up? Them niggas brought him ribs and a good meal, and that was supposed to butter my nigga up to take that deal. I'm like, man, that shit was weak, my nigga. I would have told them niggas no. That's why I can't be involved in no drug game, my nigga. Because I'm telling them niggas no, my nigga. I'm not taking the rap for nobody. You killed that kid, my nigga. I didn't do nothing. I shot a couple of just random nniggas. I ain't shoot that kid, dog. I'm not taking the rap for niggas. I don't know how niggas do that. I can't do it,
it's
bro.
Crazy. Because that was his last meal.
That's what I'm saying. Like, y'all trying to butter me up with some ribs, thinking I'm finna be straight. Like, y'all niggas really trying to send me to the slammer. But 250K was a lot for back then, though. 250K would have been like $1 million in today's money. It'd have been like $1 million in today's money.
Like Fatback said, if this shit don't work, I'm facing 50. Like, I'm getting an automatic fix. Like, I'm not
getting
out of this bitch. Like, they're not gonna let me out. They're not gonna give me probation after a few years. No, I'm doing a whole bid in this bitch. So if I do beat this shit, I want $1 million. Like, cause my alternative is 50 years. So I'm like, I would have took $1 million, but $250K, that shit dead. Cause Fatback big. It ain't like, look. Now if it was Leon in this situation, I'm like, bro, Leon, you a little ass nigga. I know you a fighter and all, but you small as hell. Fatback huge. There ain't too many niggas just gonna try Fatback, especially if he got protection in there like you say he would. So I don't know. It's different based off of the size for me.
I'm definitely not taking that deal. I don't give a fuck who y'all talking to, my nigga. I'm chilling in my cousin's house for the rest of my time, bro. Y'all tripping.
But Wanda leaves the hospital. Ain't too much really happened right there. She was just walking out the hospital. And then Louis teaches Candy how to cook rock. And Jerome is showing Johnny his guns. And they're letting them know, look, this is how you cook the rock. This is what you're going to need to protect yourself. That shit was hilarious, too. There's a lot of funny shit in this episode. They teaching country-ass people how to shoot Uzis, man.
Yeah. But it was something interesting that Jerome had said. It's like, man, either you're going to get killed in this game or you're going to have to become the killer. And that's why he's showing these people how to use guns and shit, because you're going to need this shit. Niggas are going to try you. I don't care where you stay. You can stay in little ass Arkansas. I don't give a fuck. Niggas are going to try you when you have this product and when you start to get this money. So you need to be able to protect yourself. So I understand why Jerome gave them niggas a Uzi. That nigga gonna need some practice because that nigga was missing the whole bottle. That nigga was hitting nothing. That nigga needs some more practice, but I understand it.
Hey, Candy fucked up, dog. Candy is so messed up. How you gonna do cocaine and you pregnant, and then you try to smoke rock? I was thinking the same shit.
I was thinking that. I'm like, that baby gonna come out deformed, my nigga.
Oh my god. I'm like, bro.
I was thinking that same shit, bro.
And Louis just let her do it. Louis just let her do it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this like Debbie, your cousin. Like,
yeah.
No accountability. I was so upset.
Yeah.
What happened in the scene after that? Did I skip one?
Oh, but I wanted to go back to that Wanda leaves the hospital scene because it wasn't too much really involved with it, but it really showed just like how hard it is to be a recovering addict. Because you really don't have many places to go. Most of the time, you're really on your ass. So even when you're trying to get clean, it's like you really don't have any shelter. You don't have a job. So you see how hard it was for Wanda to get back on her feet. You feel what I'm saying? Like, even when she wanted to get clean, like she had to go back to where, or get back in that environment where she know it wasn't good for her. Like, I'm clean, but she still had to be around it because she had nowhere else to go. And that's how it really is for a lot of, especially when it's drugs, a drug addiction. Like, you really have nowhere else to go. You have to go back to that environment and just withstand it and stay strong throughout it until you find like some shelter, somebody else to take you in or something like that. So yeah, I always loved how, and I always loved how Snowfall shows like they don't just show you like the drug, and they show you what the actual person doing the drugs goes through as well. And that's something that I always loved about this show. They don't keep it on just the drug dealers. They make you feel empathy for the people doing the drugs as well. And I always loved that.
And it's crazy because like my parents, I'm sure your parents and like a lot of parents of people our age, like they grew up during that time. Like they seen this shit for real. So if grown ass people are watching this show, like 40, 50, 60 plus, like they'll be able to tell you, like, yeah, like shit was really like that. Like you walking down the street, seeing people you went to school with, like they full blown crackheads now. Like, and it ain't no joke. Like the shit not funny. Yeah, it's jokeable now because it's 30, 40 years after the shit. But no, back then shit was for real. My mama told me a lot. Like I know so many people from high school that ended up doing that shit. Like that shit was just crazy as fuck. I'm like, man, gotta be safe out there with that shit. Yeah. And you had just said it not too long ago. Louis and Jerome explaining the addiction to crack. They're telling Candy and Johnny, and I think that was their son that was with them, right? I don't know if it was their son.
I don't know who that goofy nigga was.
But whoever he is standing on the couch, Chevelle, I don't remember the name, but they let them know, look, do not smoke this shit. Like you're not supposed to smoke it. Don't do any of that shit. Otherwise, you are not gonna be a good seller. And I feel like they'll damn have to kill their ass if they try shit like that.
And they definitely gonna try it by the end of the season. I mean, by next episode, probably. Them niggas probably gonna do it.
Dude sleeping on the couch, he gonna try it. I know he gonna try it. I thought he was gonna try it by the end of the episode, honestly.
Me too. Me too.
But then we get to the next scene. Teddy is drunk at Louis' club and he snaps on Franklin. And like you just said a few moments ago, he tells him everybody is replaceable. And I was mad as hell at Teddy for this. Cause I'm like, bro, like I get it. You going through a lot, but you tripping right now, just stepping to Franklin all crazy. Yeah, Franklin got a few hiccups going on with him right now, but he should know Franklin gonna get shit right if he got a few hiccups. But Teddy was on some drunk shit.
But I also don't feel like Teddy was just speaking to Franklin. Freddie, I keep saying Freddie. Teddy was also speaking to himself as well. Teddy is replaceable too. They'll get somebody else to do exactly the same thing that Teddy is doing. So he was speaking it to Franklin, but you can adhere that same type of that statement to Teddy. All the things that he's going through right now, his brother just getting killed, everything weighing on him. It's like, all right, Teddy, you see this CIA agent keep sneaking around trying to see how good you're living right now, and that's always been weird to me. Why he always pops up? Like why is that? Like, are you really just genuinely trying to check on him, or are you really trying to take Teddy's spot?
But it's like he didn't really start checking up on him frequently until like shit really just started taking a toll on Teddy. Like before shit really started taking a toll, I think he might have showed up once or twice. But now, like, he checking on Teddy frequently, like, always going over there and shit, ever since Teddy done came back from that mission when they killed Officer Fuentes and all that. So I'm like, hey, like you just said, hey, Teddy, your job on the line, G.
Exactly. And dude had asked Teddy about the guns. He was like, man, what's good with the guns? We don't have all the guns we need in Nicaragua. Like, what's up with the plug with that? And Teddy was like, yeah, I got it covered. So Teddy got so much on his plate right now, and he's slipping with a lot of it when it comes to the drugs, when it comes to the guns, his mental health. It's like, all right, Teddy, they about to get another nigga in to replace you too. So it's like a lot of niggas got to watch their back in this scenario. So that was funny how he just said it to Franklin, but you could definitely point that statement back at Teddy as well.
Facts. And Louis and Jerome are arguing in the next scene, and Jerome been ready to get out the game, dog. Jerome feels like, look, you got the club you've always wanted.
He just want to sell speakers.
He just want to sell speakers, dog. My dog Jerome got his shop. Louis got her club. They got the cars, the money, the clothes. They got everything. And Jerome really looking at Louis like, what else do you want? Like, why are we still doing this shit? Like, not saying Franklin got to stop, but me and you, we don't have to be involved in this shit no more. We could take our cut and just go and just build the legal way at that point. But we still not getting to the point yet where Louis gonna tell him what's really going on, and we'll see that later in the episode. Yeah. And that was just real big to me because Jerome been left in the dark for so long.
True. But just think about where Franklin would be. Or just think future and think of past where Franklin would be without those two. Like when Franklin got shot, those two were running the business. And still now they're helping with the expansion. And even back when he was trying to get started, they were the main pieces in getting everything started. So without those two, Franklin wouldn't be where he's at. So they talking about getting out. And it's just like, man, like if they get out, Franklin is nothing. It's just Franklin by himself at that point. So obviously she gets to the point where she says like we can't stop or whatever. But just thinking like what if they were not around like in the future? Like, man, Franklin would have nobody to turn to.
Crazy, bro. And then scene right after that, Wanda has nowhere to go, like we just said. She calls Leon and asks for help. And Leon tells her, look, I can't help you, but I know somewhere you can go, which ends up being Alton's shelter later in the episode. And something big that I heard on the television when Leon was on the phone with Wanda, the AIDS epidemic is starting to spread and is making big news. And I feel like that's going to play a big part, not only in the rest of this season, but season 5 too. I feel like the AIDS whole epidemic thing is really going to take a toll on their business. And I think Wanda might have AIDS.
Probably.
Yeah.
Bro, she probably do, man. All the people that ran through Wanda, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, but that was a good catch, though. I did hear that, but I ain't paid too much attention to it. But that's a good catch, and that's probably what it is going to be next. What's the name? Next season.
Because they're going to have a lot of medical shit going on. A lot of people going to be dying. A lot of people going to be getting sick. Like, so you got crack mixed with AIDS, like, yeah, shit gonna get crazy in season 5. It gotta get crazy.
Yeah.
We get to the next scene after that. Khadijah is plotting. She making up her chloroform mixture, her ghetto chloroform. I was confused as fuck. I really thought they went back to Candy and them, and I'm looking like, who is cooking this crack right now? Like, why did they just pour it straight into the pot? Like, I was confused as hell. But then you find out it's cleaning products and shit. I'm like, oh, she on some master type shit. Like,
for real, that shit fucked me up. I was like, damn, what the fuck she trying to cook up in there? That shit fucked me up, but man, she got a lot of knowledge. I hope we dive more into Khadijah. Like, I'm really interested in her character, even though she's just gaining like attention now because her daughter died. Like, I really enjoy her character. So I wish she sticks around.
At this point, I low-key think Scully's character might be done. I think Scully is getting overran by Khadijah by now. And I low-key, I love Khadijah heart more than Scully heart. Khadijah
Me too.
That shit.
And it's
I
funny.
love Khadijah.
And it's funny because we was talking all that shit about Scully in the beginning, and Scully ain't came through on none of the shit he was talking in the beginning. Like, he was talking about he was finna go after Franklin, this, that, and the third. We ain't see this nigga plot on Franklin yet. You know what I'm saying? So, but Khadijah one, she going at that bitch head honcho style. So I love Khadijah, bro. The women bosses in this shit with Louis and fucking Khadijah. Oh my god, lovely. Fuck with that shit so heavy. Yeah.
This nigga Scully said, I'm gonna stone his bitch ass. And then ended up at the altar like this.
That guy, this episode, he was like, yeah. That's funny.
That guy ended up in the house with a bunch of crosses like this. so I can't trust him anymore at all.
Hey, exactly.
And then we get to the most controversial point of the episode. Fatback gets picked up by a woman who claims to be sent from Franklin and Leon, which is clear utter bullshit. And she sets him up and brings him to Khadijah. I was so hurt because, like I just said at the beginning of this episode just now, I've been pulling for Fatback this whole time. I've been telling y'all he's such an important character that's underappreciated, and he does some dumb shit like this. I can't even defend it. I really can't.
And it's funny, like in the scene where they dropped Fatback off at the prison or at the jail, they had told him, we're gonna be back to pick you up, assuming that they got bail. They was like, we're gonna be back to pick you up. I guess that nigga didn't hear that, or he didn't give a fuck when he seen the female, because obviously he went straight for the female. He was like, you talking to me? Walk straight to her ass. I'm like, dog, you been in that bitch a day and your horniness takes over? Like, my nigga, how you supposed to handle 10 to 15 to 20 years? You can't handle a day. Oh, like, this nigga Fatback got me mad, dog. Gain some respect.
I was so hurt, bro. Oh my god.
I gained some respect for that nigga because he took the rap. He was finna do the bid, and then he does that dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Ends up getting himself killed. It's like, come on, Fatback. Lost all that respect. All that respect is lost.
And then next scene, Franklin offers to help Tanase's brother who got sent out to Chino. I forgot what prison he was in at first, but they moved him over to Chino. And she's asking questions about Teddy. And just before Franklin really dives into what Teddy is doing, he gets that call from his lawyer saying that Fatback already got picked up. And I'm glad that call came in because I feel like Franklin was getting real comfortable with Tanase. And at first he was just like business partner or whatever. But I feel like the longer they sat there before that call came, I feel like he was going to tell her just a little bit too much info.
I didn't get that vibe because what was the question that she asked Franklin? What was the question she asked Franklin?
She was just asking, like, who was that person that came to, like, talk to you and stuff? And he was like, it was just a business partner and all that.
Yeah, man,
stuff.
I do business with. Yeah, I didn't think he was going to tell nothing serious.
I feel like he would have told, maybe not nothing too serious, but just a little bit more than what he should say. I feel like he would have dove.
Yeah, because we don't know who she works for at this point. Like, we still don't know nothing about Tanase at this point. So that little bit of information could have been huge. Like, we don't know at this point. So that's true. I
seen a theory on Twitter. I can't remember dude who tweeted it because it was just a random person I seen on Twitter. But the girl who played Wanda, Gail Bean, she quoted it and she said Tanase is Manboy's cousin, I believe. And that's how Manboy plotting on how to get the plug and stuff like that. And I'm like, how is she his cousin? And I think because I think she asked if Khadijah. I think she asked Khadijah earlier in the show if Scully was okay or like how's her daughter and stuff like that. I think Tanase knows Khadijah or something like that. So I think that's how she's Manboy's cousin. And I'm like, bro, if Manboy cousin laid up under Franklin, like, bro, is that why Manboy so chill? Like, oh my God, this shit crazy.
That is why he's so chill. Because he's like, I got my cousin on it. She working at the spot. You know what I'm saying? And that's why she was asking about the white dude. Because the white dude, you know what I'm saying, probably knows something. Teddy knows something. So, damn. If that's what I figured it was. I'm like, she got to be related to either Scully or Manboy. So that makes sense. Manboy's cousin. But damn, that's a plan by Manboy. That's a plan. Because that's how he's trying to steal the plug. That's the reason. He's not trying to kill Franklin by doing this. He's trying to steal the plug in this little plot and the plan that he's doing right now, getting her inside. That's smart.
Shit, because if you take Franklin business as far as drug money, you ain't gotta kill him. He just shit out of luck.
Exactly. He ass out,
yeah. He ass out. No longer competition. You really don't even gotta kill dude unless you just want to be greedy and just kill him on top of everything. So.
And that would hurt him even more, bro. Even more than killing him, hurting a nigga's pride in this game, my nigga, hurts a nigga even more. And then you're going to see Manboy on top. That shit going to kill my nigga Franklin, dog. That shit going to kill him. So that's why he hatching up this plan. So that makes a lot of sense. If that is true, that makes a lot of sense.
Definitely. And then Khadijah and Eureka, the girl that picked up Fatback,
that's her name? Her name is Eureka?
Yeah, Eureka. Yeah. Crazy as fuck. I seen the subtitles. I seen the subtitles on Hulu. I'm like, hold on, rewind that shit. That shit said Eureka. I'm like, what the fuck? That shit blew me. But they torture Fatback, want to know what Leon at. And this is where everybody realizes Khadijah is fucking crazy. And I love this shit. Hey, shout out to Fatback for the last little bit of humor that he gave us, though. She was like, what, Leon? Alaska, bitch. So bring your jacket. I'm like, oh. Fatback had me crying. That nigga said, Alaska, bitch.
Hey, she showed that nigga, I'm not the one to play with, my nigga. I'm not the one to joke around with. But even before then, when they was riding into, like, the abandoned warehouse and shit like that, it's like, why this nigga Fatback asked no questions? Like, this nigga Fatback was just riding up in that bitch. He didn't ask questions until they was in the warehouse. Like, damn, where we going and shit? Like, my nigga Fatback, why you waiting to ask questions this late?
Soon as I seen that we weren't going to a hotel or no shit like that, I'd have jumped the fuck out the car. Like, because why are we pulling into a warehouse? Like, crazy.
I would have hopped out of that car so fast, my nigga. This nigga Fatback just looking around and shit. Bro, this stupid ass nigga, dog. I swear to God, Fatback got on my nerves. Man,
but funny part is, I think Khadijah was gonna kill him, whether he did know where Leon was and told or not. I feel like Khadijah really just on cutthroat mode right now. Like, I feel like even if Fatback say, okay, Leon is here and this what time he be here and blah blah blah, she still would have killed him. Cause I feel she just at this point. Yeah.
Oh yeah. She definitely would have killed him.
Definitely.
You are a part of it.
Yeah, he genuinely told her, like, look, I do not know where he is. I wasn't the one that killed your daughter, and I just seriously do not know where this man is. And Khadijah looked him in his eyes and damn near just said, fuck that. I'm still finna kill you anyway, because you ain't telling me what I want to hear. So I'm like, yeah, he was gonna die regardless.
Oh, for sure. And you don't know if that nigga is telling the truth or not. Like, you truly can't tell. Like, even if he has like a more genuine approach to it, you still don't know if that nigga trying to bullshit you. So it's like, man, fuck it, I'm gonna kill your ass anyway. You ain't telling me shit. Like you said, like what I need to know.
True.
You're useless to me.
True.
But the way she sliced that nigga up, oh my God, that shit there was probably one of my favorite scenes of Snowfall, period. When she was stabbing that nigga, I was like, every time she was stabbing that nigga, I was like, ooh, shit. And she was slicing him up. She wasn't just stabbing him. She was digging in his shit. And I'm like, God damn.
It was like stab, pull out, stab, slice, slice, pull out. I'm like, she doing art on this nigga.
Bro, she was going crazy, bro. That was probably one of my favorite scenes of Snowfall. The way she was cutting that nigga up. I was like, man, like I felt like I was feeling those shit. So I ain't gonna lie. I felt like I was Fatback in that shit. I was like, oh shit, man.
A quote that I can pull from that is, remember in The Dark Knight when the Joker was in the interrogation room and he was talking to the officer and he said, you know why I use a knife? because guns are too quick. You can't savor all the little emotions. And he said, in their last moments, people show you who they really are. And I'm like, damn, that quote came to fruition with that scene, because you seeing all the little emotions with each stab, with each slice. Like, I'm like, yeah, with guns, you ain't gonna get all that. It's just pop and it's over. So,
man,
crazy how films can pull on each other like that. And then Louis tells Jerome how they're involved in the CIA finally, and how their drug money is funding the war in Nicaragua. And Jerome realizes no matter how bad they want to get out the game, they just can't get out the game yet. No matter whether you want to or not, you in this shit, because the CIA know your name. They know everything you're doing. You can't just get out. You get out when they tell you to get out.
Yeah, that's tough, bro. That's tough, especially when and like I said, everybody's in the same cycle, bro. Nobody's breaking out at this time. So we can say everybody's replaceable, but until they start knocking niggas out the game and shit like that, everybody got to keep doing their job, bro. It don't matter if who want to stop. It don't matter if Franklin mama say we got to stop. And I see that in the previews, Franklin daddy going to try to talk Franklin off this shit, trying to say, hey, we got to get out the game. We got to report on our ass. But it's like, he can't. He can't stop, because it's really not his decision, bro. It's not his decision. So there's nothing that them niggas can do at this point, dog. They end up, and it's funny because she said it. Louis said it in that scene. She was like, Jerome had said, so Franklin's in their pocket, in the CIA's pocket. She was like, no, we're all in their pocket, my nigga. Like, it ain't just Franklin. We all in their pocket at this point. It's just like, yeah, y'all niggas ain't getting out of this shit at all, bro.
Hey, you know that meme when Homer get up tired? Let's get this bread.
For real. Hey, it don't matter how you feeling, my nigga. We gotta go up and get it. We gotta go up and get it.
Let's get this bread. Tired as hell and pissed off. Let's get this bread.
Hey, for real, dog. That shit wild.
And then we see I don't know how to pronounce this man's name. I never really knew his name until now. But Havemeyer or
damn, I didn't even know that was his name. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, he said, what you call it? Gustavo said it when he pulled up. Havemeyer visits Teddy, and he sends his condolences for Matt, and he updates him on the war in Nicaragua, like you said a few minutes ago. He's letting them know, hey, we losing ground. Like, where's all the guns? Like, you know, and Teddy's like, don't worry, I got it all under control. Clearly, when you don't. But another thing, Havemeyer also says, Avi's receipt shows that he hasn't been stealing. So,
is that what he said? He said that?
He said something like, Avi's financial records are showing that there is no misuse of his spending or something like that. Like, he said something to that degree. So I'm like, damn. So what really is happening with the weapons? Or is Avi stealing but finding a way to cover up his receipts?
Exactly. Or he has another person involved in his spending. It's not going into Avi's account. It's probably going to another nigga's account. Avi's stealing some shit, though, for sure. We all know Avi at this point. Avi's a sneaky motherfucker, my nigga. So he's stealing, but he's just not doing it blatantly. So yeah.
Right. And I took that and I was like, whoa. Like, what do you mean he not stealing? Like, I honestly feel like that's what's going on. But I totally agree with you. It's got to be a third party involved that Teddy just don't know about. And then next scene, Franklin walks up on Fatback's dead body, and Leon is pissed at Franklin and is blaming him. And Peaches, are you a bitch ass nigga? Is that what the show is? Is that what Peaches has come to at this point?
You see how my nigga looked when he got called a bitch ass nigga? He's like, you gonna let him call me that? That nigga look crazy as fuck.
Hey, he turned to D-Ray Davis for a second. He was like, hold on, nigga, that ain't in the script. That is not in the script.
That shit killed me, my nigga. I ain't gonna lie. That shit killed me.
Hey, I bet when they said cut, D-Ray was like, nah, you know damn well bitch ass nigga was not in that. That's acting though, for real. That's real acting.
That nigga killed me. That nigga said, bitch ass nigga. That nigga D-Ray said, I know that nigga ain't talking to me. He's like, chill. He's like, Leon. That nigga Frank said, chill. I'm like, man. But like I said, this is Franklin's fault, bro. This is Franklin's fault.
I know they wanted to bust out laughing after that scene when the director cut. That shit was hilarious.
That shit was funny. But this is fault, bro. So you
it is.
can't blame nobody else but Franklin, bro.
It's multiple people, like you said earlier. It's multiple people's fault. But as far as Leon is concerned, like this particular situation of everything resulting in Fatback's death, you could put this particular situation on Franklin. So I do agree with that. But then we get to the last scene of the episode. Wanda gets to the shelter. Alton is checking her in. And Irene walks in again after being threatened by Alton the last time. And she blasts Alton in front of Wanda. And I'm wondering what Wanda's going to do with this information now that she heard Irene tell him, I know your son is funding this shelter with drug money. And I wonder if Wanda's going to try and figure out like who his son is, or if Alton's going to talk to her and just vent to her or something like that. Wanda is going to do something with this information. I don't feel like they had her listening to that for no reason. But Irene is also telling Alton, look, I know the CIA is involved. Just give me a few minutes. And I need you to talk to me so I can have one on the record source. And I feel like Alton gonna fold.
And I do too. And I feel like she wasn't even making a good argument, because what she was saying was, yeah, I'm trying to go after the CIA. But we already know when you get to the CIA, them niggas are going to start going down the list of who was involved in this operation, my nigga. And they're going to get down to my son was involved in pushing the drugs. So I think Alton is just hearing they're trying to go after the CIA, so they're not going to look at us. Like, no, my nigga, they finna trickle that shit down. It's a trickle-down effect involved, my nigga. You just can't look at the CIA. They gonna look at everything involved. So, that nigga Alton, bro. Because I seen it in the previews that he's gonna try to talk to Franklin or whatever to get out. It's like, man, or to talk about it, but can't.
And she offered to spare his family. She was like, I'll spare your family if you help me. I'm like, there is no sparing the family. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
if I give you this information, they're going to know I've been involved with what the hell's been going on. So I'm in trouble regardless. And you just said, if I don't talk, you're going to go after my son and my wife. So either way, my family is fucked regardless. You can't sit here and tell me you're going to spare my family, because you're either only going to spare me or you're only going to spare them. Like, we're all not getting out of this shit free.
This is a lose-lose situation for sure. So she just really did a good smooth talking job around that nigga Alton. So he think everything finna be cool, but it's not, bro. It's not that simple. Like, they finna catch this nigga Franklin if you snitching, my nigga.
And I don't like the fact how she tried to say, this is what Fred Hampton would have wanted. Yeah. And I was like, what? I was like, bro, I would have told her to get the fuck out. No, because what you're not gonna do is race bait me. That's what you're not gonna do.
Exactly. Like, nigga, I was the one in the Black Panthers, my nigga. Don't try to tell me what the fuck I already know, my nigga. Don't try to talk to me about that bullshit. That shit was crazy. I really trying to tell me some shit. That shit was crazy. But I want to go back to this previous scene with the Franklin and Leon and Peaches. At the end of that scene, Franklin looked real emotional, like he was about to tear up and he was about to cry. I don't think Franklin, other than Kevin, has really lost anybody. Like, he's really been lucky when it comes to not losing anybody to this drug thing that's going on right now. Like, even though Mel had her little addiction, she's still alive. Leon's still alive. Like I said, other than Kevin, his family's still good. Louis still good. But I feel like seeing Fatback, who was obviously a bodyguard, somebody who was close with that group, die. That shit hit home a little deeper than everybody else that's dying around him. It's just like, damn, that was somebody who was really a part of the group. You feel what I'm saying? And he was gonna take a hit for me. He was taking a hit for me. Like, he didn't have to do that, but he did. So that shit hit Franklin a little deeper. In that scene, you can see him tearing up, and it's just like, damn, like, you can you feel that for sure, my nigga. Damn, that shit hit.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like, yeah, Fatback ain't really have too many lines. And when he did talk, he was just comedic relief for the show and whatnot. But I felt like he was such an important character because of the emotional tie that he brought to that group. I feel like Peaches is the same way. I feel like if some shit happened to Peaches, I feel like Franklin might take that a little bit hard too, because it's like, damn, like, you ain't really like one of the main people, but you in this shit. We see you every day. You're driving me around. Like, you're in my face 24/7. Like, you're helping push the product. And like, you like family damn near. So especially for the fact that he was gone for a few episodes and they called him back. It's like, you really in this shit with me for real. And I trust you for real. So I feel like if something were to happen to Peaches, Franklin will take that heavy too.
Exactly, especially after old boy had dipped on him a couple of episodes. His other bodyguard is just like, damn, you didn't bail on me either. I had niggas bail on me in this game, and you still standing around. You know what I'm saying? Even though police keep popping up, everybody, you know what I'm saying, keep popping up, you still sticking around. So that's definitely love, man. But hopefully we don't continue to see this shit with Franklin losing, you know what I'm saying, close friends and family members, dog. Because that shit hit different and make you reevaluate shit for sure.
We ain't done seeing it. I know we're gonna see more. You in the drug game, bro. You gonna see it. You're
Exactly.
you in the drug game, and you're in international warfare. You gonna lose people. It's gonna happen. So I'm. It's just who are we gonna see him lose? That's the only frightening part about it. We don't know who it's gonna be, but he gonna lose more people. I know it.
But this was like his first taste, I feel like, in my opinion, because I was like you said, he shot Kevin and shit like that, but this one felt like the one that really felt like it was a part of the game. Like it was gang related, drug related killing. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like it hit a little deeper.
Facts. You got any predictions for the next episode?
Like I said, with Alton, I know that's going to be the biggest part of next episode. Alton trying to persuade Franklin and shit like that. Also, I think Irene and Mel will we'll talk in this episode as well, because we really didn't see Irene until like the end of this episode. So I feel like she's gonna have a bigger part next episode, and then we're gonna see her talk to Mel, try to talk to Alton and shit like that. Get her story together, get her story straight. But yeah,
my predictions. What I got. I predict that the Little Rock thing is gonna go up in smoke. I feel like that Little Rock situation is going to. Yeah. It is going to be a downfall early in Little Rock. So that's my first prediction. Yeah. My second prediction, Alton not gonna talk. I predict that Alton will not talk. He's just gonna see everything that Irene presents, and he's just gonna tell her to get the fuck out again. So I don't feel like Alton gonna be the weak link. And thirdly, I feel Khadijah is going to take Scully's place as like the lead blood antagonist. Manboy is still obviously the lead Crip antagonist, but I feel Khadijah is completely just taking over for Scully at this point, and we're just going to see a lot more of her.
And I don't think Officer Nix is done showing up in this show. We haven't seen him in a few episodes. I think he will get his little scene with Irene doing a little snooping around. She will stumble across Officer Nix once again. And
she gonna talk to him.
Yeah, she definitely gonna speak to Officer Nix. And somebody had commented that too on the last video. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Officer Nix is not done with the show.
Especially because he in evidence too. They demoted him over to evidence. So yep.
Exactly, bro. So do you got anything else, bro? That was the end of episode 6 recap.
Nope. Just ready for next week, really.
Like I said, this has been the best season to me. Season 5 is already set to be renewed. So we on to the next, bro. We on to the next. And we don't gotta worry about Franklin getting killed. Thanks, Snowfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have put season 5. I don't know. I feel like if you announce season 5, they just shouldn't have announced it. I'm just
they shouldn't have announced it until after. They should have announced it until after, bro.
They should have announced it until after.
Yeah. And you can hit it with the social media.
You can follow us on Twitter at Q&E Podcast 1. You can follow us on Instagram at QANDE Podcast. You can follow and like our Facebook page. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the notification bell so you can see anytime that we drop new episodes. Our email, QANDEpodcast@gmail.com for any business inquiries, questions, or concerns. And our Snapchat is QE Podcast.
Yes, and definitely subscribe to all of our podcast platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Subscribe to the YouTube. Like I said, we appreciate all the love and subscribes. And definitely subscribe to my YouTube. Just type in Quincy Hicks into the search bar and definitely hit that subscribe button. We appreciate y'all for listening, and we out. Peace.